Damn. Benny.
Yes?
I'm not gonna make it.
Oh, stop talking crazy.
No. Just do one thing for me. Get
Sergio Aguero.
Hello and welcome to the FPL Fix. I am Richard from the Dipsy Dudes, and let's be honest, it's not been an electric start for the Fantasy Premier League as the big players keep failing to deliver, apart from a few obvious exceptions who we'll get into very, very shortly. I mean, is this just what happens now because we're starting the season so early? Is everyone still in summer mode? Is everyone still on the beach? Is everyone still just looking for fitness? I mean, come on. I will say one thing though, there were some big sexy points to be had last week with the likes of Everton, Norwich and Man City doing well, but the question is, going forward, which teams will impress this weekend? Well, let's have a look at the players for your consideration. So will this game week see the mass exodus for Chelsea players in fantasy teams? The fixtures still look favourable for Chelsea going forward, but the team do not look ready for this season. Will.i.am is their top point scorer with 8. That's 8. Fabregas and Costa are both on 4. That's 4. Hazard is on 3. That's right, 3. And as for the defence, forget about it. If you're dumping the likes of Hazard, Costa or Advanovic, the one silver lining is that at least you'll be able to get some money to play around with to start tinkering with your team. Technically, no one should be off limits in your team tinkering because those players are still worth a pretty penny. And by that I mean that you can get Company and Aguero without taking too much of a hit. The big defender is top joint point scorer in the league alongside Mahrez, and Aguero looked back to his best, his usual exquisite Fantasy Premier League self. Though prices are moving on up, Company has already gone up to 6.2 early on. Aguero is up by 0.1 and Yaya Toure is also up by 0.1. The prices for these three, this Holy Trinity at Man City, are rising. If you're not on them now and you're in two minds, should I or shouldn't I, pretty much if you don't make a call this week, you're not going to get the chance to make a call because you could be priced out of a move for them by this time next week. The other benefit for this Holy Trinity, not only are they in form, the fixtures look good as well. Away to Everton this weekend, which is a tough one, then they have a nice run of games. Looking at the likes of Watford, Palace, West Ham, Spurs and Newcastle. All winnable, and in the form they've started the season in, hell, they could get a damn good run going here. Points aplenty, I say. Another player who managers are looking to dump quickly, like the Chelsea players, is Wayne Rooney. 2 games and 7 points so far. Nearly 200,000 people have dropped him this week as of recording, probably to make way for Aguero, which is understandable when you compare the performances of both players in game week 2. I mean, was Wayne Rooney even on the pitch, honestly? But is Wayne worth one more roll of the dice for this weekend? They're home to Newcastle and Rooney has a good goal scoring record against them in the past, so I'd say it's worth considering, but think about what I said earlier about if you are going to Aguero, maybe you'll get priced out of it if you wait a week. That's the only thing that's keeping me arming and ahhing about committing to dumping Wayne Rooney, is the possibility that he could do something this weekend. Mind you, if you are going to go for a Manchester United selection, a firmer selection for you to look at, and I can't believe I'm saying this, would be in the defence. Smalling is currently priced at 6 0.1 thanks to his early season form, which is mind-boggling. Including the keeper, you can grab Romero, Shaw or Damian for between 5.1 and 5.6. Another clean sheet against the Toon this weekend might be in the future for them. The thing is, after this game, it's away to the very impressive Swans and then home to Liverpool. So the games are getting tough for the defence and for Rooney to shine. Something to consider in your counterpoint about whether you keep Rooney or not. Now, another English player that's a big contender for the chopping block, Theo Walcott. Ugh, God, I wanted him to do well. I really did. I just wanted him to just score some points and look like the Theo that he could have been. I mean, hell, I'm a big fan. I'd have him at my club tomorrow. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe I went for hope rather than expectation. And at a starting price of 9 million, which is dropping rapidly at the moment, it might be time to chuck him out of your team if you do have him. The obvious shout would be to go for another top English talent, but one that's actually playing and actually scoring. Ross Barkley. We mentioned him in our season preview and said if he could capture his pre-World Cup form that he could be a steal, and it looks like he's on his way to becoming a huge bargain for the season. Move from Walcott to Barkley and you can pocket right now 2.3 million for other transfers in your team. Everton do have a tough run of games coming up though. Home to Man City this weekend, which we mentioned earlier, then away to Spurs, home to Chelsea, away to Swansea, away to West Brom, and then the Merseyside derby against Liverpool at Goodison Park. But you know what? On paper, Southampton away was a difficult game. That was a tough fixture. So it's always the way. If you're a top player, you can do it against anyone. Is Ross Barkley a top player? He's looking like he could be. Mind you, with that being said, about the idea if you're a top player, you can do it against anyone, let's talk about another English player, Harry Kane. Another player not hitting his stride with only appearance points so far. Is it just Spurs? Is that the issue? Would he be scoring more if he wasn't at Spurs and he was at, I don't know, any other club? Who knows? But one thing is for sure, looking at him right now, he has been infected with the Spurs meh virus. What is the Spurs meh virus? It's a terrible disease that leaves talented players looking bang average. Spurs' next two games see them go up against two informed teams in Leicester and Everton. So maybe it is time to look elsewhere. And again, big money option is Kane. Maybe it's time to downsize to a cheaper option who's actually in form. Maybe someone like Gomez at Swansea. This week, the impressive Swans travel to the Stadium of Light, or as it should be called, the Stadium of 3 points to the away team. Gomez and Ayew both scored last weekend, making it 2-2, and the defence again looked very good, being led by the captain of club and country, Ashley Williams. Look for more of the same this weekend, and who knows, maybe we'll finally get that 4-0 at half-time home fan walkout that we thought we were going to have last weekend. And I tell you what, we nearly got it against Norwich. We were that close. Fingers crossed it'll happen this week because, by God, I do love it. I love a good half-time Sunderland walkout. I love it. Elsewhere in the league, Watford host Southampton at Vicarage Road, and I think if the Hornets can get the ground bouncing, that there could be some points to be had in that game. Southampton haven't looked great in their opening two fixtures, conceding 5 goals in those games, and this could be the game for Troy Deeney to pop his Premier League goal-scoring cherry. If you haven't got him already, he and his teammates might be a 1 week and out option as they travel to the Etihad next weekend, but maybe worth dipping your toe in them for a bench spot at least. Maybe put him on your bench, bring him in this week, put him back there. Use the rotation. Nothing wrong with rotation if you can get it right. Finally, Palace travel to Villa Park, and despite losing to Arsenal last weekend, they did look good. We talked about their attacking options last week, but with their defenders mostly priced at what? 4.5 million, and McCarthy in goals. He is a nice budget option at 4 million for your keeper. There's some really good defensive options at Palace, so maybe some value and some points to be had from the Eagles defensively. Okay guys, it's that time of the week again. It's time to look at the FPL Buzz, where we get your thoughts about the league going forward. Last week we asked you about wildcard, and below you can see all the comments you guys had to say about that one. And thank you to the likes of Mika Henry, Mynak Dembla, Blue Spoos, Blessing Arawalo, Lydia B, and everyone else for getting in touch and leaving comments. They left comments on the YouTube section there, so if you make comments anywhere, whether it be on the YouTube, on Twitter, Facebook, on the FISO group, wherever, we'll mention them as long as you get in touch. It seems that the early wildcard is a popular shout this season, with over 250,000 people bringing in Mahrez from Leicester, closely followed by the Man City Holy Trinity, who are just over 200,000 people have brought them in. I mean, did you play your wild card this weekend? Did you play it last weekend? Have you rage quit the game altogether because things didn't go your way in the first 2 weeks? Let us know your thoughts on the Fantasy Premier League right here. Let us know all your hopes and dreams, and we'll feature them all on the FPL Buzz. The Dipsy Dudes Divisional Championship. The fact that only 14 managers have broken the 100-point mark speaks volumes about what a tough opening it's been to the season. But at the top, it's Score Terrier after a strong 65-point showing, despite a disappointing showing from Kane as captain. Lukaku saved the attack and Payet did well, but this was a team that was built on a super strong defensive display, highlighted by the Man City doubleheader of Company and Hart. A wise call indeed. However, a special mention to this week's top scorer, Monkey Spankers, who can thank his Liverpool trio for getting the points, as well as some good midfield displays to boot. Remember, you can join the league right now, so if you haven't, then you need to get involved, and you need to do it quickly, because the league is open now, but it will close at game week 6. After that, doors are locked and we'll fight it out to see who is the best of the best in FPL. Right, that's about it for this game week. Thank you very much for joining us. Remember, if you like what you see, click like, leave us a comment, and hit subscribe to ensure that you get the latest Dipsy Dudes episodes as soon as they are released. Like our Bond Night video series, where myself, Adam and Rob discuss everything 007 related. It's a great video, check it out. Remember, we have a social media presence on Facebook and Twitter, as well as a discussion group at fiso.co.uk. We will be back next week for more of the same, with the last game week before the international break. And God, I hate the international break, but more on that next week. Good luck to all you managers out there for game week 3. Hopefully this will see the return of the big, sexy points.